Hello friends, we have been reading Frost at Midnight written by Coleridge. Yesterday or in our previous lecture we discussed about the introduction of the poet and the poem, as well as we also tried to understand the stanza 1 of this poem. Now we move ahead in this poem and we begin with stanza second. You know very well what was the theme of this poem, that is Frost at Midnight. So the poet is not been able, the poet has not been able to sleep in the night. His child is sleeping by his side. The fireplace is about to extinguish, that is to be finished, but a thin or sparking, or we can say the fire or the flames are coming out from that through the grates of that fireplace. Then we saw that the poet is now sinking in a dream. He recollects his past when he was a child. So looking at his own child, as well as since he is not able to sleep in the midnight, and the frost is everywhere in the night. Frost has covered all the environment and the place or the cottage where the poet is staying. So he moves towards a reverie, a dream, and he dreams about his past. He recollects his childhood days, his study days, his school days, etc. So in this stanza, we will see how he describes his past and how too much he loved his past as well. Now he has come to the city or into the metropolitan cities. The life has changed, but he still longs for the previous life of nature. So let's begin with stanza 2. But oh, how oft at school with most believing mind, presageful, presageful means just like a sage, just like a hermit, presageful have I gazed upon the bars of the school, to watch that fluttering strangers. जैसे बार्स और जो ग्रेट्स ऑफ जो उसके थे fireplace के, in the same way here the poet is describing the bars of the schools, to watch that fluttering stranger, some stranger is passing on there, and as oft with unclosed lids, that is constantly without closing the eyes. Already had I dreamt of my sweet birthplace and the old church tower. So the poet is here dreaming now. He is in a reverie. इसको कहते हैं सपने में, पीछे के सपने में चला गया है. तो he is talking, he is dreaming about his sweet birthplace where he was born, as well as he is dreaming about the old church tower of that village where he was born, whose bells the poor man's only music. So bells of the church are supposed to be the poor man's only music because they don't have any other extra kind of music. Church bell itself is the music for them, and it teaches a lot to them. ring from morn to evening. That rings from morning to evening, in the morning time, in the evening time as well. All the hot fair day through means that ring from morning to evening, all the day. Garam din और वो भी सुंदर beautiful day. So sweetly that they stirred and haunted me. And this bell rang so sweetly that it stirred as well as haunted the poet with a wild pleasure. That is, he saw a wild pleasure in listening to the music that the church bell gave, falling on my ear, most like articulate sounds of things to come. So, this church bell, the ringing of this church bell, also sings something, gives something to us. That is, the sound of this church bell are articulating sounds, and they are talking about the things that would come in the future. Let's go with the explanation in detail. So here the poet is now going into a reverie, remembering how he used to stare at the stranger पे किस तरह से वो स्टेयर करता था. जैसे हमने फर्स्ट स्टेंजा में देखा कि पोइट फ्रॉस्ट की नाइट को, मिडनाइट को, जब उसका बच्चा उसके पास सो रहा है, फायर प्लेस में जो आग जो है उसको स्पार्किंग कर रही है केवल, और उसमें से एक हल्की नीली सी ब्लू जो है कि उसमें एक फ्लेम जो है निकल कर के आ रही है, उसको पोइट स्टेरिंग कर रहा है, माने उसको घूरे जा रहा है, और घूर के देख रहा है. तो घूरते घूरते उसके दिमाग में ऐसे विचार आते हैं, तो वो पास्ट में चला जाता है, और पास्ट में जब जाता है तो वहाँ फिर वो ही डिस्क्राइब्स कि हाउ ही यूज्ड टू स्टेयर एट द स्ट्रेंजर. क्लासरूम का जो फायर प्लेस था उससे किस प्रकार से वो स्ट्रेंजर्स पे देखा, मतलब एक टकटकी लगा करके देखता रहता था. यहाँ स्ट्रेंजर जो पहले वाले स्ट्रेंजर से जो फिल्म जो उसके सामने क्रिएट हो रही है, और फिल्म दैट इज द रिमेम्बरेंस, दैट इज द रिकलेक्शन ऑफ हिज पास्ट डेज बैक व्हेन ही अटेंडेड स्कूल एज ए किड. तो जब वो एक स्कूल, और स्कूल भी कौन सा, क्राइस्ट हॉस्पिटल स्कूल इन लंदन, वेयर ही वॉज ए किड, ही वॉज ए स्टूडेंट. सो how he used to stare at the stranger at that time, constantly at that person, at that particular thing, at that anything else. So here he is comparing, in fact, of the present staring, that he was staring the blue thin flame of fire that is coming out from the fireplace, with the stranger that he used to stare at him. So as a kid in school, he says that he would imagine his birthplace. So उस समय जब वो स्कूल में था, तो कॉलेज कहता है कि उस समय भी वो अपने बर्थ प्लेस को इमेजिन करता रहता था, ऑटरी जो सेंट मैरी में है, साउथ वेस्ट इंग्लैंड में, which is very far away from the hustle and bustle of London's metropolis. That is in the lap of nature, where he used to listen to the church bells on fair days. तो वहाँ वो क्या करता था, जब बच्चा था स्कूल के अंदर, तो वो अपने बर्थ प्लेस को याद करता था, और बर्थ प्लेस जहाँ उसका जन्म हुआ, जहाँ पर कि वो चर्च बेल्स को ब्यूटीफुल डेज जो होते थे, हॉट डेज होते थे, क्योंकि इन इंग्लैंड और इन लंदन hot days are considered as the beautiful days, because all the year there is frost, there is cold, there is winter. Only few months are there in a year. Then at that time they feel like you can say beautiful. They feel like normal or happy. Those are the fair days, the month of May, etc. The church bells. So here in the stranger he is describing the church bells as the poor man's only music. I have already explained to you that this is only the music that is being heard by the poor in the villages. They don't have any other kind of music there. So, since the music they make is totally free, are similar to the stranger in that they are a harbinger of a better time to come. So, these church bells are supposed to be a harbinger of a better time to come. So, these, even though church bell don't speak in any language, but their sounds are like articulate sounds हैं जो बहुत articulate करके बोली जाती हैं. ऐसा लगता है कि वो ये कह रही हैं कि some better जो है कि होगा. They seem to be saying something maybe better than words could. तो जो sound है वो शब्दों से ज़्यादा, वर्ड से ज़्यादा कह रही हैं. और what are they saying? They are talking about things to come. That is important. That is, they are talking, they are predicting, they are foretelling about the future, which might refer to the afterlife. That is, they are talking about the future as well as they are talking about the kingdom of the God, or simply a more spiritual life. So, this life of the worldly life is earthly life, and we have also a spiritual life. And so, these church bells, through their sounds, are speaking about them. So they are similar to the stranger since the bells are also predicting some unknown and probably welcoming. So ये भी एक तरह से स्ट्रेंजर के रूप में है जिनको कि ऑथर एक टकटकी लगा करके देखता और सोचता रहता था उसके बारे में. एंड इन दिस वे ही फील्स ओवरजॉयड एट दिस पॉइंट. नाउ कम विद अनदर लाइन्स ऑफ दिस स्ट्रेंजर. So gazed I, till the soothing things I dreamt lulled me to sleep, and sleep prolonged my dreams. And so I brooded all the following morn, awed by the stern preceptor's face, mine eye fixed with mock steady on my swimming book, save if the door half opened and I snatched a hasty glance, and still my heart leaped up. For still I hope to see the stranger's face, townsman, or aunt, or sister more beloved, my playmate, when we both were clothed alike. So gazed I. So again the poet is continue with the gazing or the staring, till the soothing things I dreamt. So till he dreamt about the soothing things, the pleasurable things, and these things lull me to sleep. तो जैसे ये उनके बारे में गेज कर रहा है, सोचता है, तो ये सारी चीज़ें उसको नींद की तरफ ले जाती हैं. एंड स्लीप प्रोलॉन्ग माई ड्रीम्स. एंड जब स्लीप है तो फिर अगेन यू कम इनटू द ड्रीम्स. लेट्स सी. सो Coleridge now ends up getting carried away by this reverie, soothed and comforted. So ये रेवरी ड्रीम की वजह से वो अपने आप को सूदिंग फील करता है, कंफर्ट फील करता है, और उसको नींद भी आ जाती है इवनिंग में. दिस इज स्टिल द चाइल्ड Coleridge, नॉट द एडल्ट Coleridge हु इज सिटिंग अप एट नाइट एंड रिमेंबर. सो ये तो एक जब वो बच्चा था, जब चाइल्डहुड में इस प्रकार की जब रेवरी उसके ड्रीम्स आते थे और वो स्टेयर करता था, स्ट्रेंजर्स पे करता था, तो दैट वुड गिव हिम द कंफर्ट, that would soothe his mind and soul, and then he would sleep in the evening. But now he is adult, he is not a child, and since he is adult, therefore he has not been able to sleep at first night. So he is waking at that time, and he remembering this at all कि पहले तो मैं सो जाता था ऐसे, जो है कि जब मैं स्ट्रेंजर्स पे देखता था टकटकी लगा के और ड्रीम्स में चला जाता था तो मुझे नींद आ जाती थी, लेकिन अभी नहीं आ रही. स्लीप हेल्प्स हिम कंटिन्यू टू हैव दीज प्लेजेंट ड्रीम्स अबाउट हिज पास्ट इन द कंट्री साइड. तो अब अगेन जो है कि अब वो ये सब प्लेजेंट ड्रीम्स है वो कंटिन्यू करता है अपने पास्ट के, जो कंट्री साइड में के बारे में सोचता है, नाइस थिंग्स के बारे में, और वो नाइस थिंग्स दैट माइट हैपन इन द फ्यूचर. So kid called Jones out the next day in class 2. तो नेक्स्ट डे क्लास में भी चला जाता था उस समय वो. देन अब चूंकि सो गया था, नींद फिर भी पूरी नहीं हुई, उस समय का डिस्क्राइब कर रहा है. तो वो क्या करता, स्कूल में जब जाता नेक्स्ट डे तो क्लास में फिर वो डॉजी होता था, माने उसकी नींद पूरी नहीं होती थी. तो ही प्रिटेंड्स टू रीड, वो कहता है कि मैं फिर रीडिंग की प्रिटेंड करता था, बहाना करता था एज इफ आई एम रीडिंग. क्यों क्यों? इन ऑर्डर टू अवॉइड गेटिंग इन टू ट्रबल विद हिज स्टर्न परसेप्टर. अपने टीचर से, अपने हेडमास्टर से, जो जिसका नाम जेम्स बॉयर था, वो जनरली बच्चों को पीटने में ज़्यादा प्रेम करता था, अच्छा लगता था उसको पीटना. तो उससे बचने के लिए, जिसको कि इसने स्टर्न परसेप्टर का है, उससे बचने के लिए कि मैं किताब बुक को खोल करके उसमें नज़र रखते हुए पढ़ने का बहाना करता था. और ये सब हम जानते हैं कि हम भी कभी न कभी ऐसा किए हुए हैं. जब हमें कोई दिमाग में कोई दूसरा पॉइंट घूम रहा होता है, कोई हम ड्रीम्स में चले जाते हैं और हमें टीचर के जो है कि डांट का भी डर लगता है, तो हम ये प्रिटेंड करते हैं क्लास में कि हम वो जो लाइन है जो लिखी हुई है बुक में, जैसे उनके ऊपर हमारी आंखें चलाते हैं. लेकिन in fact we are not actually reading them. We are not able to read them because something wrong is with us. That is that we are dozing. That is we are sleepy. So यहाँ ये कह रहा है the book itself is not actually, वो कह रहा है स्विमिंग, जो वर्ड्स जो है ना उसके आंखों के सामने स्विमिंग कर रहे हैं, तो बुक स्विमिंग नहीं कर रही है, एक्चुअली वर्ड्स और वो जो उसकी आंखें हैं वो घूमती जा रही है. ऑल इज विजन इज बिकॉज इज स्टिल स्लीपी एंड, क्योंकि अभी भी स्लीपी है और डोज्ड है ना, तो डोजिंग कर रहा है, इसलिए ये सारे जो अक्षर हैं, जो वर्ड्स हैं किताब में, वो उसकी आंखों के सामने तैर रहे हैं. और इंटरेस्टिंगली द स्ट्रेंजर कॉलेज इज वेटिंग फॉर इज नॉट ए जेन्युइन स्ट्रेंजर. कोई ऐसा कोई जेन्युइन स्ट्रेंजर नहीं है जिसको कि वो वेटिंग कर रहा है या जिसके बारे में सोच रहा है, जिसको देख रहा है, घूर रहा है. ये कौन है? इट इज़ समवन ही नोज, जिसको जानता है. जैसे कोई होम टाउन से कोई पर्सन हो सकता है, उसकी आंट हो सकती है, उसकी सिस्टर हो सकती है. सो दे आर वेरी मच फेमिलियर, दे आर नॉट इन फैक्ट स्ट्रेंजर, बट दे आर स्ट्रेंजर बिकॉज ही इज वेटिंग फॉर दैम. और वो भी एक टकटकी लगाकर. He is showing some nostalgia for the good old days. So these were the good old days. For that, the poet is showing his nostalgia. That is, he is remembering, and nostalgia means he is feeling loss of those good old days. कि वो सब nostalgia किसे कहते हैं? कि हमारे जो पुराने दिन थे, अच्छे दिन थे, वो अब नहीं हैं. तो उसका जो लॉस की जो फीलिंग है, that is called nostalgia. इसलिए हम उनको याद करते हैं. Before he was toiling away at this lousy school. The fact that he and his sister were clothed alike. So last line thing, clothed alike. So this is between his sister and him. They were clothed alike. And this indicates that these days were simple. They had not yet been differentiated into different roles and could experience life in a more unified way. So this was the stanza second of this point. Now we shall begin stanza third also, but half of this third stanza we will do now, and the other half of the stanza 3 and the stanza 4 we will do in our next lecture. So let's go with this stanza, half of this stanza. Dear babe, that sleepest cradled by my side, whose gentle breathings heard in this deep calm, fill up the interspersed vacancies and momentary pauses of the thought. My babe so beautiful, it thrills my heart with tender gladness, thus to look at thee and think that thou shalt learn far other lore and in far other scenes, for I was reared in the great city, pent amidst cloisters dim, and so not lovely but the sky and stars. So now we see that the earlier the poet was totally alone, solitude. There was calm and quietness, no disturbance at all. And therefore the poet went into the dream, and the dream of the past life, his childhood life, about his school days, about his familiars, etc. Now his attention is moved towards his own child, who is sleeping beside him. So he said, "Dear babe, that sleepest cradle by my side, who gentle breathing." So the gentle breathing of his baby or his son disturbed him. कि जो जेंटल जो ब्रीदिंग, बच्चा जो श्वास ले रहा था, उससे अब जो पॉइंट है कि डिस्टर्ब हो गया, और वो जो ड्रीम जो अब तक ले रहा था उसके बाहर आ गया. Heard in this deep calm. So because there was the deep calmness, quietness. So in that deep calmness, the poet heard that gentle breathing of his own son. Fill up the interspersed vacancies. So this gentle breathing, in fact, filled that vacancies, or interrupted that calmness, that quietness, and momentary pauses of the thought. And therefore, there was a pause, there was a stoppage, there was a stop for a moment, stop of the thought or the dream or the reverie that he was taking just before. So, there was a stop of that reverie because of the interruption in that solitudeness, or in that deep calm quiet atmosphere, or in the cottage, due to the gentle breathing of his son, who was sleeping beside the poet. Then he says, "My babe, so beautiful," appreciates his own son. "It thrills my heart with tender gladness." And this, since he is very beautiful, therefore this beautifulness also thrills the poet's heart with tender gladness, pleasure and gladness also. Thus to look at thee, so looking at his own son, the poet says, or the poet thinks, that thou shalt learn far other lore. So now the poet is in fact talking to himself. This is a kind of monologue. Although he is addressing his own son, but the son is sleeping. So there is no interaction at all. So he thinks that thou shalt learn far other. He thinks that my son will learn far other lore, some other music, some other songs, and in far other scenes, and that song he will learn, or he will listen into some other distant places, scenes, in far other scenes, दूर किससे? Far from this madding crowd, far from this hustling and bustling of the metropolitan cities. So my son will listen the song. He will get the better opportunity to enjoy. He would be grown up in a better environment, far from the city life or the urban life. For I was reared in the great city, because the poet says that he was reared in the great city, just like this one. Pent amidst cloisters dim, and so not lovely but the sky. So मैंने कुछ नहीं देखा, बोले नेचर को. So not lovely, that is, I could not see the lovely nature, but I just could saw only the stars and the sky. क्योंकि सिटी के अंदर क्या देख सकते हैं? कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. न पहाड़ है, न नदी है, न नाले हैं, न घाटी है, न जो है कि कोई लॉन्स हैं, न मिडोज हैं, कुछ भी नहीं है सिटीज के अंदर. यू कैन जस्ट लुक एट द स्काईज एंड द स्टार्स ओनली. This is, but he hopes that his son would be able to see and enjoy and would be grown up in the better environment. And he hopes so. So let's see, although I have explained the lines. So he pauses his thinking, becomes aware of his baby's breathing. This changes his train of thought again, which is why we were in the new stanza. So now he stops addressing the reader. Earlier he was addressing the reader in the stanza 1, and in stanza 2 he was addressing the readers, but now, and that was really the conversation. But now this is not a conversation, because now he is talking to himself. It's a kind of monologue, and he starts speaking to his baby. So Collins is going to make sure that his son will enjoy life lived close to nature. This is important. So he is sure that his son would be able to live a life of nature. Not one stuck in a school like क्रेस्ट हॉस्पिटल में पढ़ा है ना वो, लंदन के अंदर कॉलेज, इसलिए वो तो मेट्रोपॉलिटन में रहा, इसलिए नेचर का उतना आनंद नहीं ले सका जितना कि वो ये आशा करता है कि उसका बच्चा लेगा. वेयर कॉलेज वेंट एंड वेयर द हेडमास्टर लव्ड बीटिंग इट. तो कि ये अनुभव मेरे बच्चे को नहीं होगा, ऐसा वो उम्मीद रखता है. जैसा अनुभव, एक्सपीरियंस दैट ही टू, दैट इज ही वॉज रियर्ड, ही वॉज टॉट इन ए सिटी अर्बन स्कूल, एंड वेयर द हेडमास्टर यूज टू लव बीटिंग द किड्स. So he is excited, glad that his baby will lead a more natural and peace. क्योंकि अब जहाँ वो रह रहे हैं, that is, he means to say, a natural place. They are living in a cottage, in a countryside, and that is the peaceful life. That is the more natural life. So he says that he will learn far other lore, दूसरे गीत, दूसरे संगीत, from far other scenes. क्योंकि nature जो है, कि जो चीज़ें मैंने सीखी हैं, मेरा बच्चा उससे अलग सीखेगा. दैट इज ही वांट्स टू कन्वे, बिकॉज नाउ ही इज इन द लैप ऑफ नेचर, एंड नेचर टीचेस डिफरेंट लेसन्स देन द सिटी. सिटी से ज़्यादा कहीं हम नेचर से सीखते हैं. और इस तरह से जो है कि ही फर्दर एक्सप्लेन्स व्हाट ही implied in the last set of lines, that is, he was stuck in the dim cloisters. डिम क्लॉइस्टर्स में कन्फाइंड था ऑफ एन अर्बन स्कूल. कि जब वो पढ़ा था तो एक अर्बन स्कूल के अंधेरे के अंदर जो है कि वो कन्फाइंड था, माने उसमें उनको बंधे रहना पड़ता था, उनके ऊपर डिसिप्लिन था. दे कुड नॉट कम आउट फ्रॉम दैट स्कूल, दे कुड नॉट लुक एट आउटसाइड, एंड देयरफॉर ही यूज्ड टू स्टेयर एट द स्ट्रेंजर्स. और स्ट्रेंजर्स कौन होते थे? स्ट्रेंजर कोई अजीब नहीं, नए नहीं, उसी के परिचित. कि भाई अब कोई आंट आ जाए, कोई वो घर का आ जाए, कोई मिलने वाला आ जाए, उसकी सिस्टर आ जाए, उनकी तरफ वो निहारता रहता था. दैट इज ही यूज्ड टू स्टेयर द वेज आउटसाइड. लेकिन यहाँ ही इज सेटिस्फाइड, ही इज श्योर दैट हिज सन वुड नॉट गेट दैट काइंड ऑफ एनवायरमेंट he got, but now his son would get the different environment of the nature and would enjoy the pleasure of the nature. So वहाँ स्कूल में क्या केवल skies को देख लेते थे, तारों को देख लेते. So everything on earth had been built over by humanity. Hopefully he is saying his son will have a much different experience. So this is what we have for today's our discussion. That is, we discussed the stanza 2 and half of the stanza 3. Tomorrow in our next lecture we will discuss the remaining part of the stanza 3 and the stanza 4, and in this way we would be able to finish this poem. So I hope you have followed me as well as enjoyed. So thank you very much, dear students. See you